Let us begin our journey in this world of dragons and magic. We begin in the capital city of Madsladare in Laisulad Umer. Um, Madsladare is the capital of the Simtracilium kingdom, and it is truly a resplendent place. It's mostly constructed out of stone. You know, it's kept between mountains for the most part, so there isn't many trees around. Um, but beautifully carved and shaped. See, there are archways made of like amethyst geodes, and as well as aqueducts from the upper lake that bring water across. Aqueducts encrusted with this amethyst. The slate on the ground has been like polished and is perfect. Truly, the stone here has been bent to the will of civilization. Though today, well, perhaps not more colorful, it is certainly more shining. It is the first day of a new epoch, which is quite a celebration. Pallor Arrow 1, Epoch 182. Today is, or I should say tomorrow, is Pallor Arrow 1, as it is coming to the afternoon, where the festivities start, so you can welcome in the new epoch. Pallor, of course, being the notch of, or the crest of a medal, being named after Palomir, the god of metallic dragons and law and civility, light, honor, peace, all that kind of good stuff. So the city's been decorated all over with metallic shining banners in silvers and platinums and golds. And it's just truly resplendent and shining. And there are many travelers here, as Madsladare is one of the biggest cities of the whole world. Earlier today, let's see, who shall we start with? I got a D4.
Rolls a D4.
Yeah. Your fate is sealed. All dead now. Xeirvaerauthingeir. You have, at the start of this day, entered back from the Feywild, because, your presence is needed here at this party, this celebration, I should say, and it will probably be needed more often going forward. You find yourself entering into the city from one of the many realm circles at the Vinfar's family, and you enter into their home. They were expecting you. They let you out. As you walk out of this grand manor, you find yourself among other great houses and manors and keeps that surround the upper lake on the mountain. Is there anything you'd like to do for this day?
If they have any sort of cool trail around the lake, check that stuff out. If there's any sort of historical sites that might have more access because of the celebrations, or just a local library. Any of those sound good.
Yeah, I'd say, the most kind of ancient history is honestly these houses around the lakes. These are the most noble and most ancient of families of the Simtracilium kingdom. And yeah, you can certainly take a walk around the lake. It's quite a long walk, but you're no stranger to those. And
What is time?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see the grand pathway that kind of connects the more central city, I believe, to the east. It goes east, and then the city's on the eastern side of the mountain.
Mhm.
Um, that grand pathway goes out into the lake and connects to the castle, the Keep of Simtracilium, which is built on the lake. But yeah, walking around, yeah, beautiful view. Can find you honestly see a few other people out there at this time looking for geodes in the lake, which they seem quite successful. It's honestly not hard to find here.
Fun rocks.
Yes. All right. Tostyn, you always wake up early in the morning to make sure that you're, you know, awake and ready for everything that may come.
Make sure my armor is shiny, as it always is.
Yep. You need not do anything about it. It just is shiny.
I just checked it to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta make sure. Yeah, you put on your heavy plate mail even on this day of celebration, because a guard must stay ready at all times. And yeah, I guess you find yourself waiting at Serandusk's room. Serandusk, you wake up in the morning as well.
All right, well, there's bound to be plenty happening today.
Yes.
So, I suppose.
Yes.
Hmm,
The activities are more scheduled for the afternoon and onward. Like, you'll be awake through the night.
right. Well, I think I'll poke my head out my door and see who's around in the immediate vicinity.
You would see Tostyn standing outside.
Good morning, Tostyn.
Good morning, Serandusk.
Do I see anyone else?
Yeah, you probably have a number of servants, like two, probably waiting to get you food, get you dressed if you need that. Anything you need for the morning. Probably bringing your nicest clothes for
Right.
going out to the town.
Well, I think I'll request breakfast before I get dressed. I wouldn't want to sully my clothes.
All right. So yes, Serandusk, you have breakfast. Another great day for the third in line to the Simtracilium throne. Yeah, have your breakfast, get dressed, very fine clothes, shades of oranges and reds and whatnot, to complement the beautiful and untouched amethyst. All right.
I think before Tostyn and I travel anywhere, I'm gonna go and rest my hand against the pike on my wall and just give it a lasting glance and then walk away. Tostyn,
What's going on, Serandusk?
there's probably many sights to behold and maybe some friends to be found down in town today. There are many people around. Shall we?
I agree. We should.
All right. As you take off for the beginning of your day, go off into the town. Let's. I guess I don't gotta roll. We know who is next. Rally. It's a restless night for you, as you are one to have. Just something. You wake up with a start, almost. You feel kind of like wet, but like on the head, there's there appears to be like a leak in the ceiling or something. And
Great.
you feel like you kind of wake up with that feeling of like I had a dream, but I can't remember what happened.
Okay.
You feel like you had some sort of dream, but yeah, it's just not coming to you. But today's the day. You will
It is.
probably a good day to make business connections, and you're to, for the most part, stay by Serandusk's side today as well.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get dressed in your finest of clothes. Quite
course.
fine, but doesn't compliment you quite as well as Serandusk. But you do your best for your emerald complexion.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys would like to do before the festivities start in this day?
I'm probably interested in seeing as much as I can as it's being prepared, because I imagine I'll get tied up with something sooner or later that will require more of my attention and allow me to see quite less.
Yeah, so you take your rounds around the city. Of course, you're always kind of noticed where you go between being around 6'9" and having, some would say beautiful features, some would say handsome, some would say resplendent, some would say untouched by imperfection. A dark complexion of amethyst that stands tall above its peers, followed by a shining, pale amethyst dragonborn as well, your guard Tostyn, who, while shorter than you, still makes a presence, standing at around 6'7", and probably twice your weight.
Before the armor.
Yeah, before the armor. After the armor,
You're right, yeah.
3 times your weight. Yeah,
Big, strong man.
yeah, the plate armor probably weighs more than you do.
Okay.
Not a large individual.
Yes. So yeah, you are noticed quite a lot, especially because you don't go out very often, so it's uncommon for people to see you. And there are many people that have come from afar, whether other towns, similar Amethyst Dragonborn, or just other people from very far away, neighboring cities and civilizations. You see a lot of blue Dragonborn coming from the deserts off to the north. They don't celebrate as much up there, so some who are more keen to see resplendence and whatnot would come here.
Are there any book sales?
Make an investigation check. Here's the first roll of the campaign, guys.
First
Very
roll, all
necessary.
The
right.
first roll of the campaign,
Let's
and it's
go.
because I want
Chris
a book.
fail. I'm kidding. Maybe I wasn't kidding.
9.
9. No, it's most. There's. Honestly, you have pretty keen insight. You would find that quite the opposite has actually happened. People know that others are coming from, travelers are coming from afar, so they've kind of hiked the prices up a little bit. And besides, there's no real books that you need here. There's nothing that would interest you to such a degree that you could just find.
That's fair enough.
I would say eventually you do run into Serandusk and Tostyn walking through the town. You guys would see your ally who you've worked with briefly before, but in the future it seems like you will be working with more often. Xeirvaerauthingeir. Here's a great time to explain everyone in more detail. Xeirvaerauthingeir, an Amethyst Dragonborn, however speckled with white, like imperfections. What are they called again? They're
Utile.
yes, white like rutile, like in gemstones. Uncommon for many Dragonborn, they have a thick mane of hair that just curls and scatters about, of just like a shining, very pale, kind of bluish, purplish color. 5 horns, like a central one, which is also fairly uncommon. Honestly, just much about them is kind of uncommon, but interesting to see. They have a strange... They kind of draw the eye. As well as one eye kind of being the darker, more common with Amethyst Dragonborns. Just like that dark purple. And the other one being resplendent moonstone and shining. She carries herself with, you can just barely see like a mithril breastplate underneath some armors and whatnot, or underneath fine silks from the Pyrakton of Sendalor clan. You can tell, as you're from high society, and that is where some of the finest of silks come from.
It's like nothing less.
Exactly. Yeah, and Kier stands at, I believe, about 6'4",
I believe 6'4" is correct.
which is slightly above average, but nothing crazy for Amethyst Dragonborn. Then, more detail, we have Tostyn, the Tostyn Othmalin, the trusted guard of Serandusk, Simtracilium. Tostyn has very rigid features, a kind of paler shade of amethyst, definitely, almost like a lavender color. Their 4 horns are very geometric and squared off. A thickly wide-set individual, more of a kind of power lifter build, one would say, than, like bodybuilder. But among people, especially among the Simtracilium kingdom, they stand as a figure of strength, befitting of their name. Tostyn wears simple but shining plate mail, carries a shield at their side, and has a warhammer hanging at their hip. Anything else you want to add? Oh, yes, their eyes. You guys would notice that their eyes, you can't even really see their pupils, it's just like shining, beautiful light. Not quite like glowing in the dark, but just kind of like a beautiful sparkle, just, little flecks of color within. Then Serandusk, Simtracilium. Again, beautiful, their gemstone is untouched by imperfections and, whatever lines you might find in a gemstone. It's a wonderful set of horns of varying shapes and sizes that float behind. Hair cut fairly short. Yes, they have very fine clothes upon them. Just very standout figure.
Probably smiling.
Yes, yeah, a gentle smile upon their face, makes all the ladies swoon. Also, many of the men swoon, and others. Just general swooning.
Yeah, buddy!
Yeah, as you guys convene, as it's probably like about middle of the day, getting later towards the day, eventually, Rally, you take notice of the group before they see you, of course. And you can join up with them. A standout figure among the crowd, especially among you three, Raalivalavoar is a emerald dragonborn, but that is not the most standout thing about them. Compared to Serandusk's and even like Tostyn and Kier's gemstone, Rally is filled with imperfections and changes in colors, and you can just see like lines, not quite cracks, but like just the natural forming of gemstone is just rife throughout them. They stand slightly, less tall as other figures. They wear like long coat, very fine clothes. Seem to have money despite their general appearance. Wide eyes that kind of you could tell that they just take notice of everything going on. And yeah, this is your Raalivalavoar Palatraton from Isles far away. All right.
Very well.
So, you guys are able to meet up. As it begins to turn toward, like the party starts to kind of take effect. People are starting to be more out in the streets as the sun starts to go down, as the dusk starts to hit, and yeah.
Well, is there any meal that's expected of us to attend?
I would say so, definitely. There is spaces to eat for nobles, but also many food stands and whatnot. So there's like a polite dinner to go to, that is required, but small meal. And it's not quite yet. So if there's anything you like to go out and do before, or we can skip right to then.
Probably just skip
Yeah.
right in.
All
I'm not
okay
gonna
with
lie.
skipping the gun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to enjoying myself after the dinner. After
Alright.
my responsibilities are met,
Yes. So
my obligations.
nice early dinner with the family, and a few other families. Nice long tables are set out in the actual Simtracilium keep. Just kind of hard to get into for the most part. Everyone but Serandusk is sitting together. Serandusk is sitting with the other Simtraciliums because they need their own table because there's so many of them. See, one of the rare appearances of Waipora IV. Not seen very often. The Queen and Dragon Keeper of Simtracilium. See, stark figure, standing, around 6'2", which is pretty average height. Stoic individual. You see the lines on their gemstone face just catch shadows, and really just accentuates their just demeanor. Sitting next to them is King Xeirvaerauthingeir. Xeirvaerauthingeir is a very different figure. Xeirvaerauthingeir, a bit lighter in shade and shining, vibrant, bright, has almost liquid-like ridges to the face. The light catches it beautifully and just kind of shimmers like upon water. Large eyes, bright look. You know that Xeirvaerauthingeir married into the Simtracilium family from the Tronmy family, who are known for celebrations and art and music and festivities. And that's in their blood. Sitting at the table, one after another, you would see the first princess, the heir to being the Dragon Keeper, and the queen, is Waipor V, identical to Waipor IV, somehow. Only few can tell the difference, namely the people sitting at that table. But yes, nearly identical in appearance and demeanor. Just standing there bold, stoic, competent. Next is, you see an open seat set for Xeirvaerauthingeir III, who is no longer with us. Then, after that, the second in line, Irishan, the second princess. Irishan stands among Serandusk as incredibly large. However, where Serandusk is tall and thin, Irishan is massive. Just a wall of muscle and strength and skill, honestly. Kind of the black sheep of the family. Always been interested in combat, and just people just find their outbursts to be like fearful and just gross almost.
Yeah.
Among the other nobles. Then sitting next to that is Serandusk. Then there would be Raalivalavoar, Raalivalavoar III specifically. Yeah, because that was Irishan the Fourth, and then Raalivalavoar III. Your younger brother, by only a few crests. Raalivalavoar has been very much taken under your father's wing, Xeirvaerauthingeir's wing. Known to be proficient with many instruments and whatnot. Just a kind and friendly figure. Then there's Mirde, first of her name. She's been training under the Church of Palomir, like Xeirvaerauthingeir III once did. You don't see them very often, but it's nice to see them again. And then the youngest of the family, your youngest sister, is Nairith, the sixth. Young dragonborn girl, who notices she has someone sitting next to her, her kind of advisor and main servant, because she is blind. She was born blind. So they're helping her out with that, with eating and everything. See, there's many other tables in here containing other families. You see the Nailadah family, known for like combat and has had many generals and whatnot in their family. The Tronomy, known for planar travels and whatnot. The Tronomy is the family known for the arts and performances. The Vinfars are known for planar travels and whatnot. And many other houses and nobles. The other three of you find yourself sitting at tables filled with other just important peoples, other nobles, just people who have come into money or importance.
Are there party crackers at the seats?
As in crackers, the food?
No, like the things
no.
we get at the things we get at Christmas is like the tube and you pull it apart and there's cool stuff in it.
No. This is one of those fancy, boring parties where everything is fancy.
And boring.
Yeah, all the plates and silverware are platinum to honor Palomir and show that the Serandusk family has a shit ton of money.
Yep, full set of new silverware and plateware,
Yep.
just for a new epoch.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Do
can
we
tell.
get to take them home or
No.
No.
Oh.
We're not going to get rid of them either. We're going to keep them somewhere.
Yeah, they're gonna go in the Silverware Hall or whatever.
All right.
I mean, the keep was built upon a dragon's lair, so one would assume that there are places to put things, though. Access to the actual lair is quite restricted.
Understandable.
But yes, lots of conversation to be had.
Except at my table.
Yeah, it's
The
basically
conversation is really dry.
it's basically just Sazroth, Reitmar, and Mirde talking. So the two youngest below you, and then your father, and mostly Mirde just because you haven't seen her in a while.
Right.
But yeah, Sazroth is leading and controlling the conversation as much as possible.
Am I sitting next to Irishan?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you'd have to be sitting across from Irishan.
All right. I'm going to leave it up to DM decision about whether or not I get kicked in the shin.
Do you do anything to warrant getting kicked in the shin?
Probably not, other than be quiet and generally glance around the table.
Alright, let me roll.
He's rolling.
Now it's up to the dice.
I shouldn't have given him any ideas. I'm going to take like half my health and damage from her kicking me.
Just roll a deception check
Roll a deception. Ah, fuck.
to show that you aren't being a little weak little
Facetious
bitch.
about
Yeah,
something?
basically.
Alright. Well, that sucks. I got a 7.
Don't you have high deception?
Yeah, I have a +5. I rolled a 2.
Wow, this guy's not proficient
We are
in deception.
doing phenomenal starting this off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Irishan is just looking at you, just looking around nervously, and yeah, you just kind of feel a foot on your foot.
Okay. Kind of snap my gaze straight forward and, meet her eyes.
Yeah, yeah. So you look her dead in the eyes. She takes her foot off, leans forward, just kind of puts one elbow up on the table, and you can kind of feel the wood creak a bit.
Yeah.
And looking you dead in the eyes. Fuck are you looking at? Then she just leans back.
I'm sitting here just stammering a tiny bit.
Do we at the other table see this like intense sibling, like not quite shit talking, but shit talking going on?
I'm sure Tostyn noticed. I don't know if you two did though.
Well, Rally is
Yeah.
currently.
Okay. That's
If anyone looks at Rally, you're like, oh, Rally has noticed everything in this room, whether he likes to or not.
Dang.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Rally has 360-degree vision. His eyes are.
Honestly,
He's got like a GoPro
wouldn't doubt
360 on top of his head.
Yeah, and honestly, this is very. Even though it's not like a loud confrontation or even that much of a confrontation, these are just two the largest figures in the room.
yeah.
Besides, there's probably a Goliath or two from neighboring mountains.
Understandable.
That are. But, yeah.
Whether or not it was supposed to be a spectacle, it's turned into one to some extent.
Yeah. And that much is fairly common for,
My sister and I. Which could be referring to either of my older sisters.
Yeah, well,
It-
Waipor doesn't ever start shit, really.
That's true.
Waipor is more like, haha, I'm gonna ignore you so much it's noticeable, kind of thing. Whereas Irishan starts shit all the time, for no reason. But yeah. So some more polite
Here-
conversation and some few impolite comments. You want to say something, Kier?
Kier's gonna lean over towards Tostyn and go, I bet you a drink later tonight that table breaks at some point this evening.
I've seen the quality of the construction of those tables. You would be surprised. I'll take you on that bet.
All right.
But might I just add, that's a fine piece of armor you got there. Where did you get something like that?
Thank you. It was a gift from the family.
Tostyn, do you
Super
want to make a
ambiguous.
history check
Sure.
to see if you actually know what Xeirvaerauthingeir's family is? This is your strong suit, right?
It's supposed to be.
11.
Oh, nice. You must have rolled a 12, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xeirvaerauthingeir. You just know that Xeirvaerauthingeir is from the Feywild. So, something interesting. So they could be referring to the Simtrae-Cilium family, or their own. It's hard to tell.
Ambiguity.
Yeah.
Ambiguity.
Find out next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Indeed.
Oh.
Rally, make a perception check for me
Okay.
with advantage.
Ooh. That's good.
Does
I
he really need advantage?
No, he always has advantage.
Okay.
That's a 24.
24, cool. I think that's lower than your passive perception.
What?
Don't worry about it. He's a normal guy.
I'm worried about it.
He's just a dude.
I could. I'll be okay.
You smell something. Someone that's walking by with a thing of drinks, or that's like about to walk by. They're walking towards the grand table with the Simtrae-Cilium family on it. You can smell in one of the drinks that something has been put in it. You can tell it's different scent than the actual wine. And you can tell which drink it is as the person begins to walk past.
I'm gonna kind of be like, I'm gonna just try to get their attention and slow them down a little bit.
Okay, so you just kind of want to like stop them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's something wrong with one of these drinks.
How would you be able to?
I can just smell it.
Strange. Make a persuasion check.
Oh no!
Oh, I can just smell it, mate.
It's a 12.
Austin overhear this.
Yeah, you guys are sitting kind of near each other. But with a 12, very well. I will get new drinks then.
Okay.
And
Thank
they,
you.
Walk off.
I'm gonna watch this person as they walk away. Just like, are they gonna go back to the kitchen? Are they gonna walk to try and serve the drinks anyway?
Yeah, they walked back to the kitchen.
Okay.
You could smell that one drink was different than the others.
Yeah.
How on earth are you not completely insane in this room?
Don't worry, I'm already completely insane, so can't really go more.
It's hard to fall off a cliff you've already fallen off.
No, that is. Sure. But of course.
Could you just tell that this was off, or do you know anything more?
It just smelled a little bit different.
Make an intelligence check.
Who? Me or?
Yeah, you. Just to see if you could figure out what it was from the scent.
Oh yeah, I got a 3. So was it an 8?
Yeah, you're not sure what the substance was, but you could just smell there's some other substance. It
How
was
far away is-
basically like you could tell that, like you could smell that a wine was watered down from like 10 feet away. Just normal stuff. All right.
How far away is Tostyn? How far away is everyone else's table?
A bit of a ways, like 30, 40 feet. Like more noble houses are next to your table.
Well, 30 to 40 is a big distinction.
40.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. Yeah, try using your
Yeah.
fucking psychic fucking connection
Yeah.
now, motherfucker.
Try to have conversations with people I actually like talking to, man.
Totally forgot that fucking everyone in this room is a telepath. Um,
Yeah.
Do I ever see this waiter come back out?
yeah, you see him come back out.
Where are they going around to? Just generally through
They come out with like drinks, all going back to the Simtrace Cilium table to hand out the drinks.
My good sir, Rally? Do you notice anything about those?
No, not anymore. I don't.
Mm.
Interesting.
If someone was going to try to cheat at cards, would you notice something was off about the cards before they were even dealt out?
Well, we might have to try this sometime.
I think we might.
Yes,
It sounds like a wonderful way to pass the time.
it sure does.
All right. So yeah, unless there's any more conversation you guys want to have.
No, Kier probably just starts like interrogating the other people at the table without
Alright.
them realizing that they're being interrogated.
Yeah. You see Kira's gaslight gatekeep girl bossing the other people at the table.
Nice.
Very successfully as well.
Of course.
Or yeah, roll a persuasion or deception check. So just get shit out of people.
That is dirty 20. So, a little low.
Just some insane people in this party.
Yeah.
Everyone's good at the one thing.
If we Voltron, we too can make one really. We can make it do anything.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you get like a few rumors and stuff about stuff going on. Any kind of information that you're trying to seek?
Thing weird that might have been going on across the continent. If anyone else has had issues with unknown people in their places of study.
You hear that none that you've heard of, like, doesn't seem like anyone's had any like break-ins or anything like that recently, except actually maybe someone at this very table.
Either you feel like fessing up.
All right. Who does not speak up? You've been girl bossed. Get fucked. So, yeah. Cool. So yeah, the dinner comes to a close. wasn't a very long dinner. Just light eating, and you guys are free to exit and go out as the night has just begun.
Did
Okay, so
the
outside.
table break?
Not yet.
The night is young, but not yet. How dark is it outside?
It's like sunset at the moment, and the streets are all lit up with magical light.
Yeah. Well, that's no fun.
Are the lights, are they runic based, or are they just like someone casted dancing lights at the time length of forever and just has them sort of scattered about?
So basically, there's the there's like ever burning lantern kind of stuff of just like these white, like lantern lights that just burn forever. But then for the festival, you would see that there are some things that are kind of more akin to like spells that have been cast for the night, like some sort of spell scroll of something like a dancing light that lasts like, oh, this will last for like 24 hours, and it'll be beautiful platinum and gold lights and whatnot, bronze and brass, copper.
Right.
Yeah, and it's all very much like reflecting off of the banners and whatnot.
Would I know if there's like a specific time or like range of time where the celebration is going to be the most lively?
Well, there's a few events going on.
Okay.
Here, let's. Which I put on a random roll table because I thought it would be fun.
Okay.
But if you have any event in particular that you are thinking of, let me know.
Well, I was hoping to, see if I know anything about, like, any events that have a relatively long, history to them. They're things that come about every year, or
Yes.
something of the sort. Just something with some significance that, maybe it's not the most ancient tradition, but certainly something that, has been carried forth for some time.
Yeah, the main ones are there's a grand celebratory tournament that is held just, so you can watch people get the shit beat out of them for the new year,
All right.
because some people are like that. It's mostly so like great warriors can be like, aha, for this next crest, I'm better than all you motherfuckers, because I won
Nice.
start of year, bragging
I
rights
wonder if
for
any of
the
my
crest.
siblings will be there.
Yeah, one might think.
Yeah.
Concerning.
Then for this epoch specifically, it's said that there's going to be like a grand sermon. There's going to be two of them, one held for all the nobles and whatnot, and like people of high society. And then they're also holding one for the common folk who have come into
Wow.
town. Yeah. So you, of course,
How nice.
are all invited to the grand sermon of the nobles. And then they always have fireworks, because they're nice to see. Mostly arcanely created, but there are some crafty motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
Is there like a street that will have like dumb carnival games?
Probably. It's probably all throughout the city, but yeah, like the Grand Thoroughfare would probably have the most of that kind of thing. Would you guys like to start heading just through the Grand Thoroughfare?
Might as well.
All right.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, you do see scattered members of the Amaranthine Grasp, the kind of high royal guard of the Centracilium family, as well as just some other guards around, just keeping an eye. As you guys are walking, Tostyn, you feel someone make a telepathic connection to you. And you hear a voice say, meet me in an alley at sundown in an hour. Do not bring anyone with you.
I'm not going to respond.
All right.
But just keep walking like nothing happened.
Okay. You guys continue. You reach the Grand Thoroughfare. Many people just out and about. Yeah, would you guys like to engage in any carnival games? It's like a
Yes.
test of strength.
No.
Oh, please.
I'll stay away from the test of strength, but I would love to watch.
Sure. Yeah, who wants to do test of strength?
Try.
Cool.
Here we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, Kier, let's see your shot first. Let's just make an athletics check.
I would honorably let the lady go first.
Of course.
Well, they are participating in this. Can
That
I make
is
an
not
investigation check? Just to
20.
look around, see if there's any hokey magicians.
Yeah, do you want to make a perception check for that?
Sure.
If you're just kind of looking around.
That makes more sense.
No.
What'd you
Right.
roll?
A 4.
4. Interesting.
And nothing gets added to that.
So you take the wooden mallet given to you. It just kind of, like, it doesn't even hit center. It hits off the side. You're really feeling the result of, like, not having wielded a weapon, like, with your hands in years. And yeah, just tink, like, it scarcely moves. Yeah, Tostyn, let's see your shot. So
Can
make
I,
an
like, wiggle the
athletics-
hammer just a little bit, figure how heavy it is?
It's very light in your grasp.
Okay. I'm not going to set my shield down for this one.
Okay, so you're just gonna one-hand it, just.
Mhm.
So yeah, make an athletics check.
18.
Hey, very good. As Tostyn, as it swings up, almost hits the top, and then.
I just set the hammer back down and walk back.
Wait, sir, you've won a prize.
What kind of prize?
A meal voucher. Bring it to one of the
No.
stands.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
That as well. And you guys.
Well, that wasn't entirely surprising.
Serandusk,
Yes.
may I present to you one meal voucher?
I
You
shall
could
graciously accept, though you know I do not need the voucher. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right, you're gonna add a meal voucher to your inventory.
All right, let's go.
Does the meal voucher have an expiration date on it?
Yeah, it's for today.
Oh.
I was
Dang.
thinking it should, no voucher or no expiration, but you can only use it once a year. So I can wait a year and use it on the next one.
Well. Do we have any other plans for the time between now and whatever the next thing we need to do is?
Yeah, what
Just
did you roll on
enjoying-
your perception check?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see people performing, like, tricks and stuff, you know. Prestidigitation can go a long way for, like, little magical sparks and whatnot, and just
Sure.
perform
I was more hoping for hokey, like,
Yeah.
you know, some betting on loaded dice and shit like that.
Not at the moment.
All right. Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Well, as far as the festivities, I'm enjoying getting to see the people being so lively and enjoying themselves.
Fair
Happy
enough.
to continue walking and see what we see.
All right. Um, so you guys continue walking. You begin to hear word of that the tournament is about to start.
How soon?
Like less than half an hour.
How much time does it take to walk back to Centracilia Manor?
It's a bit of a walk, but you guys could probably make it and then make it back to the tournament, the Coliseum
Okay.
in time.
Last
I have a
question.
table to check up on.
Last question.
Yes.
That I'm not sure whether or not I should just DM to you.
If you want to DM it to me, do so.
All right.
There's also a whisper chat, but I have no idea what that'll do to the whole OBS overlay.
Well, I'm just gonna DM it to you.
In the meantime,
Yes.
Kier has been keeping an eye out for anything that seems runic that maybe only gets used like once a year in public for this celebration. Would there be something like that?
All right. Very well.
Make a either. Just make a perception check.
Da-ba-da. I know where things are. Oh, I can't do math. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You're not seeing any very like you haven't really seen any like grand spectacles, but I'll let you know if you see something in the future as you're kind of keeping an eye out for that.
Cool beans.
So yeah, Serandusk, did you want to walk back to the manor?
Tostyn
The keep.
does have a table to check on.
All right.
We both have a table to check on.
So, you guys start to make your way there. Yeah. You walk down the long bridge, and make your way to the stone manor. Open the doors to the grand hall. Walk through, and you guys go to the eating hall to check.
Yes.
Table's still standing.
Yeah, so you see people, two like servants standing in front of the door, and they're like about to stop you from going in. Then you see the door burst open, and Irishan is walking out, just like just rage in the eyes.
I'm gonna step to the side as quickly as I can.
Yeah, steps out. You see like as they're walking out, there's like guards standing around, just like as they usually do, and you see she looks at one of them, just goes like this, and their sword rips out of their scabbard and just takes it and goes to another one, takes them, and just continues storming out. Does anyone like stand in her way or look at her wrong?
Definitely not.
I'm definitely looking, but not theoretically in any way that she would perceive as wrong.
Make a deception check or a persuasion.
I'm looking at the ground.
I'm looking respectfully. That is a... You said deception?
Yeah.
So that's an 18.
Yeah. Luckily, Irishan is not the most insightful individual. As she storms out, And you guys can kind of take this opportunity while the door is open to walk in if you would like, or you can just peek in.
Well, my odds are good for this. I'm gonna fully walk in.
Okay. So you walk in, you see Sazroth is sitting in his chair. In front of him, you see one half of the table is just kind of like leaning downward. As he's just like sitting in front of it, just like. See, there's no one else in the room, and you see the other half of the table is across the room. And like other table, and just like chairs are like set into splinters and stuff. And you know, Tostyn was right. Looking at this is thick wood. And like even if someone was incredibly strong, like Tostyn would probably have trouble breaking it. So it's like something
I'm gonna
happened.
poke Serandusk's shoulder.
I owe that lady a drink.
Would you like your meal voucher back?
Yes, please.
That's the meal voucher.
All right. Upon yes.
Oh, now I was just going to ask. Now that it is after the formal dinner, do you think it might be a little more appropriate for me to put on less resplendent clothing?
I mean, you're kind of expected to be looking fancy the whole time, but if you want to dress down a little bit, that'd probably be all right.
Right. I think I'm gonna run off to my room and dress out just a bit.
So before that happens, right
Okay.
as you guys, does anyone else enter into the room? With Kier?
I guess I was probably following her.
Okay. Serandusk?
I'm probably peering into the door from outside.
Okay. Like the second you take a step into the room, Kier, you see Sazroth is already standing up, and he's walking over. So, oh, hello. You are Xeirvaerauthingeir indeed, yes? It is a pleasure to see you. He kind of just puts his hands on your shoulders. He's, just kind of gives you that nice like pat, and he's like, "Ah, yes, I hope you enjoyed the festivities today. They are very good, you know. We have shining lights and music and arts. It is, you know, most of my doing, but of course the Autonomy family has helped. Yes.
Of course, your festival is always lovely.
Ah, why, thank you. It is what we do best. Now then, I will be taking my leave for the night, but you may see me in the festival performing.
Oh,
I will look
performing, all
forward
right.
to it.
And he,
Enjoy your evening, and
I
thank
just-
you so much for hosting.
of course.
Just telepathically to Tostyn, just as himself. Leave it at that.
Yeah. He's a performer, not an actor. He's already the best character. All right. So yes. All right. So then you guys head to the Grand Tourney.
Yes.
All right. You are heading off. Tostyn, you remember that probably at around halftime in the tourney is when, or there's not really halftime because it's a tournament, but around halfway through the tournament is when someone requested you meet up in an alleyway. Regardless, you guys make your way up to the Grand Coliseum. Pretty much everything's grand in this city. Everything's grand and resplendent and purple. This Coliseum is built like a geode. The outer shell is gray and stone, with pillars and whatnot, columns. But inside, everything is crystalline and shining. Tournament ground, though, is mostly like sand and dirt packed down. You guys have a nice place to sit. because of Serandusk, you can just get your own place to sit. Do you attempt to try and sit next to any like family members that might show up or other nobles, or do you just want to sit in the fancy seats by like try and just get away from people you specifically know?
And I... Can I see if Vipora the Fifth is here? Can I make an investigation check for that?
Sure.
Just out of curiosity, you know. I don't have to guess whether or not Irishon will be here after taking 2 swords.
Yeah.
2 swords and a table.
Yeah, and a table. Non-nat 20.
Irishon, or not Irishon, Waipora the Fifth is not here.
Okay. Not
You
surprising,
would know
but-
that she's, not really into combat and all that stuff. She's like, we're in a peaceful time and I'm gonna fucking keep it that way.
Right. I was more curious if she'd just be here to see our other sister perform.
Yeah. Well, seemingly, we'll make an insight check.
Insight, okay.
You're good at this, right?
Also non-nat 20.
Hey, nice. You figured that Irishon was probably asked not to compete. Because,
Probably assuming she isn't listening.
yeah.
Keegan and I both deny a call at the same time.
That would explain the table.
Yeah. Stuff like this happens a lot. Like, Sazroth and other members of the family really don't want Irishon to be fighting people all the time. It's kind of like a bad look for the Simtracilium family and also the other families, because Irishon usually wins.
Yep.
Like, there's been events in the past where, when she was a bit younger, she beat one of the guard captains in a fist fight, and people were like, "Why are these people our guards?" And that was not good for the kingdom.
It's because my sister's jacked, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not great when like a 15-year-old beats like a able-bodied 30-year-old man who has like battle experience. Like, ugh.
Right.
But yes, you guys. So yeah, do you try and sit next to anyone? Get any specific seatings?
I'd generally like to not have interactions. I'd rather not have. I'll take we'll go to whatever the equivalent for the Coliseum of box seating is, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully one that is relatively unoccupied and not reserved by any other houses.
Yeah, you can reserve your own box seating. I assume that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would see for the Coliseum, the box next to you is actually open for the start, but then before stuff really starts up, you see a silver dragon, like a young silver dragon, fly down and then just like shoot into the box seats. But like as they're shooting in, you see they transform into just like a person. Which dragons are known to do.
Especially silver dragons.
Yes. As well as kind of across to the right, you see sitting atop the Colosseum, just kind of like looking over the edge on like kind of like where the roofing would be for the stands, because we be fancy and we got fucking roofs and shit. Like it's open in the center, but there's kind of like a ring for like boxing.
Right.
Like it's like a stadium kind of.
Yeah.
You would see looking over the edge a large red dragon that just kind of observes. But
They wearing your platinum chains?
no, this is a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
This ain't a dragon.
No, I mean, this doesn't necessarily prohibit that. That's all right. I'm going to real quickly go use the restroom. I will be back.
Okay. Do we want to take a quick break here?
Sure.
It's like halfway through. Yeah.
Works for me.
Cool. So,
So,
the tournament begins.
Right.
Few matches. Some of the matches are quite quick. You see some like well-known guards are in there. Other just kind of gladiators and combatants that are well-known. Few of the standouts are there's what's their name? There's Countess Alkegal of the Nyla Duff family.
where's?
She's well known for being like a very talented duelist for her age. She's like about as old as Serandusk and Tostyn. Then there is also a silver dragonborn who they seem to be of a more noble bloodline of the silver dragonborn because they have wings. And this individual has been using a polearm, and they just kind of wrecked house immediately in their fight.
Nice.
And also a large cloaked figure who won their fight almost immediately. This figure didn't give a name, and upon starting the fight, they ran forward and just kind of punched the other person just really hard a few times, then they bore down. Yeah. Yeah, and Alcogal, they were using like a rapier, I believe.
Okay.
So, you know, classic dueling. Unless I'm stupid, let me check. Yeah, rapier. I definitely don't have character sheets for all these motherfuckers. So yeah. So those are kind of the standouts. As the fights continue.
Is the tournament, is it just like a bunch of unincorporated fights, or is it like a bracket?
It's like a bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Austin, out of everyone we've seen so far, who is your money on?
That guy with the rapier is very interesting.
That girl.
Fighter.
There you go.
Fighter with the rapier.
Sure. I wonder who the one in the cloak is.
That one is interesting.
Do you want to make an insight check?
Sure.
Or perception?
Or perception. I'll make an insight. 5. No clue.
Who is that motherfucker?
There's somebody. They punch real hard.
Hey,
They
Rally.
really like wearing capes.
Hey, Rally. You're like, that motherfucker's Irish on. Just in a cloak. That's their disguise.
Yep.
But Serandusk genuinely does not notice this.
I want to know if Kier knows.
Yeah, make a perception check.
17.
I'd say yeah, that's enough to be like similar height, build. They seem to be like
Yeah.
an Amethyst Dragonborn.
And even with this, Kier's going to lean over towards Riley and be like, so that's definitely Tablebreaker herself, yes.
Remember, for mean comments, you can always use telepathy.
Kier is trying to be a little bit of an asshole to see if Serandusk
Cool.
will
So
notice that
specifically
she is
saying it out loud.
whispering and specifically like
Wow.
stage whispering. And also to kind of rub it in that like, haha, I won the bet. She did break the table. I knew that table wasn't making it through the night, and I was correct.
Alright. Yeah, Serandusk, I don't think would hear this because he rolled real. He's just like looking at the current fight that's going on. He's like, wow.
Yeah, I'm completely absolved in this. I'm paying no attention to what's happening just around me.
Tostyn might notice.
Yeah.
Tostyn doesn't care. The end.
Enjoying the martial spectacle and wishing
Yeah,
you'd
exactly.
participate.
All right. Yeah, it's now the second round of fights. So like it started with 8 people, so now it's down to 4.
That would be
Is that
4
right?
fights and then 2 fights.
Yeah. Trying to remember.
Yeah, because then the winner of the 2 fights fight each other for the final fight.
What?
7 fights to go.
I don't know how numbers work.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, sure.
It sounds like there's 7 fights left total.
Yep. So yeah, and those 3 that I mentioned all made it through their first round.
Okay.
And yeah, this second round of fights begin. None of them are facing each other yet. And it continues as such. You see Alkigal just being very keen and just well practiced. Seem to have a great martial prowess. The Silver Dragonborn, who was introduced as Refi, with the polearm, they very quickly defeat another combatant. It's kind of hard to tell what their style is at this point because they just kind of went up and just like swept the legs and then just finished them pretty much. Similar with the unnamed combatant who just used pure unadulterated brute force to beat the next fighter. Yeah.
Is it about halfway through?
It's looked like it's about halfway through.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to in front of Serandusk and like kneel down and like make like I'm gonna whisper in his ear, but I'm just gonna tell him telepathically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier today, I got a message, telepathically, to meet someone in an alley. I'm gonna go do that now. You can stay here if you want. They told me not to bring it.
No, I think I shall follow you.
Okay.
At the distance.
I agree. And then I'm gonna say to the group, we're gonna head to the restrooms really quick. And just meander off.
Cool. Make a deception check.
It's not gonna work.
You guys can
but
make insight checks.
I would like to return.
Oh, that is not.
Deception. Got a 9.
For insight.
Yeah.
Would you roll on deception, Tostyn?
22.
I got a dirty 20.
Pretty good.
This motherfucker has got to go. So, yeah, they go off to the bathroom.
Gonna real quickly as we're leaving, I'm gonna give Rally as firm of a pat on the shoulder as I can manage, and just say, "Listen, tell us how the fights go."
All right.
Okay.
Just like before a response, just off we are.
If
we
not
go.
for your extremely good senses, it would have been just a breeze upon your shoulder, but...
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, you guys go off.
When I step outside the tournament hall or stadium, whatever it is, I never learned what alleyway it is, so I'm just gonna kind of walk out into the road, close my eyes, take a deep breath, and then just go where my feet guide me.
Okay, with your eyes closed?
No, I'm gonna open my eyes back up.
Like,
But I meant I kind of take a second to see where I think I should go, and then I'm just gonna follow it.
Make a charisma check.
It's interesting. Nat 1. So 4.
Cool.
Same.
What is rolling a nat 1 on trying to find an alleyway? What does it even mean?
I usually follow around Serandusk, so now that I actually walk somewhere myself, other than between our rooms, it's an interesting feeling.
I feel like you're walking to alleyways and you're like, no, not the right one. And it's just kind of like, you think that maybe the lie has kind of faded by now because you've been gone for a minute. But eventually you're like, just fuck, here's an alley that you can step into.
Just gonna meander into it.
Yeah. Serandusk, where do you stand?
Well, I probably dart into a different alleyway for just a moment and cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. Getting out of sight from the public eye, you kind of call upon your time spent in the Shadowfell to disappear from sight. And you can approach Tostyn unseen.
I probably stay back,
Yeah, just
keep about 25 or so feet, just try and stay out of the way.
So yeah, so Tostyn, you're in this kind of darker alleyway. And you see after a bit standing in there, you see a figure kind of cloaked, turns and goes into this alley to approach you in the darkness. They kind of pull their hood back. You see what looks like a crystal dragonborn. This kind of white gemstone. Let's see. I've been following you for 15 minutes. Why would you... Okay, whatever. This is important. You need to find... And then he's cut off. As you see, in but a moment, their head is pinned to the wall. Except, no, it's not there. You see a young, maybe even a wormling, a crystal dragon, pinned to the wall by about a 3 to 4 foot long arrow.
Just
that goes maybe even a foot into the wall. Their head is cleaved completely through. The hole that the arrow made is larger than the arrow itself.
and this person is definitely fucked right now. Gone.
A gout of white shining blood spills out of their mouth. They go, and then 2 more arrows line into their neck.
Can I see where these are coming from?
Yeah, they're coming from an angle above, from the rooftop above. When looking up, make a perception check. Serandusk, you want to make one too?
Yeah, sure.
Mid.
Just dice
What the fuck?
11.
11, okay.
16.
16. All right. You guys would basically just see a figure disappearing, just completely, just like in the darkness, with a longbow as they.
I'm gonna try and pull the arrows out.
The one that went through the head is easy to pull out because you would namely the hole in their head is like maybe about an inch in like diameter, maybe wider, maybe an inch or two, maybe 3, and it just kind of comes out cleanly. Make a intelligence check.
Another nat 1. Damn.
Arrow. This motherfucker's probably
I'm gonna
dead.
keep it though.
Okay, so you take the murder weapon. You got a bag of holding that you can drop it into.
Is this person like completely like heart stopped right now, or are they like on the verge or on their way into death?
They are dead.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And the assailant, shadows missing.
Gone. They disappeared almost immediately. Like as you were glancing up to see where it came from, they were.
How high is the buildings above me?
It's like 2 stories.
How hard would it be for me to scale up one of those?
Be an athletics check.
I'm going to.
Okay.
16.
16 on athletics. Yeah, you find some nice handholds and just scale it, and pull yourself up onto this roof. Nothing there.
Fuck. Can I try and telepathically talk to Serandusk?
You can't see me.
Do I have to be able to see him to telepathically talk to him?
Also,
Yeah.
I think you might be
Never mind.
You might be too far away.
I was gonna say I did climb up a
stories
building.
isn't that high if I went and moved closer to him.
Yeah, but it's like fancy 2 stories.
Fancy 2 stories? Okay.
um,
But also, he can't see me,
That too.
yeah,
which is dictated by the telepathy.
yeah. So,
And there's no way in hell I can climb that wall.
do you want to climb back down, or what do you want to do? Also, make a stealth check for being a guy
That's
who just
not good.
climbed a wall in plate armor.
Clink, clink, clink. Oh, well, that's not good. A 6.
All right. You hear a guard approaching.
I was gonna say I'm gonna jump down and go to the body of this guy.
Okay.
And try and get the guard's
it's a full
attention, probably.
dragon, like it's not like a guy.
Oh, I thought you said it was like a wormling.
No
I
one.
could probably drag a wormling.
A wormling is like the size of like a lion.
I could definitely drag a wormling.
Yeah, you probably could. Just like it's no longer a humanoid form. It's a crystal dragon wormling.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back down and I'm gonna drag him out of the alleyway and get the guard's attention.
Okay, so yeah, you heft and pull body. What the hell has happened to you?
This crystalline dragonborn was just shot with this arrow. I'm just gesturing to hand him the arrow.
Yeah, we'll take
Some shadow figure above the alleyway. I tried to look for them. They're gone.
Make a persuasion check.
17.
All right. We should get the Amaranthine Gasp. They sent one of the one other guard to go grab someone from the Amaranthine Grasp, and so they come over. What is it? Let us get this out of the street. No need to cause chaos or panic.
I agree.
And they help you pick up the body. Yeah. Yeah, and this was like a wormling on the older side, so it's probably more like tiger size, maybe a little bit bigger.
Large creature.
Yeah, and crystal dragons are often kind of chunky.
Yeah.
And yeah, they would help just kind of like pull it out of the public view, kind of away from like the grand thoroughfare and whatnot, towards like a nearby guard outpost.
I'm gonna come back from this bathroom break with
Okay.
white all over me.
Do you clean yourself up at all?
I'll probably go wash my hands off, but there's definitely some stuff all over my armor. And other
Yeah,
things
well,
that
your
might be easy
armor,
to take.
upon blood and like dirt and stuff getting on it, just kind of flakes off. But some of the like cloth wear underneath and whatnot is kind of almost like bleached in a way from this kind of like white sparkling blood. But yeah, you can go to return. They let you go. They don't have suspicions of you. That they check your bag and for like more arrows or a longbow, but you don't have that kind of shit. Yeah.
I still have no idea where Serandusk is, though.
Yeah, as Tostyn's walking back, I probably dispel my invisibility, like,
Yeah.
10 feet to his right, just like...
Did you hear what he said?
Say I did, I was out of earshot.
Right before he was
So I just had
taken away.
a huge fucking bite of cookie. What was that?
Yep. So
Huh?
I dispelled my invisibility just to Tostyn's right, and he asked me if I heard what the crystalline dragon wormling said to him just before he died, and I said no, I was out of earshot.
Okay.
Right before he passed on, he asked me, or told me, that we need to go find ... Then he was taken away.
I haven't met many crystalline dragons, but we might be able to see if Riley knows anything.
I don't think I have the arrow still, right, Erik? I probably just gave it to the guard.
I mean, you said you gave it back to them, so they would have taken it.
I figured as much. Like the cops. They're taking all the evidence. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Serandusk, you saw the arrows briefly. Do you want to make a history check?
Sure. I'll make a history check.
It was kind of from afar, so make it with disadvantage, because you weren't, like, looking at it.
Okay. Well, the first one was a 3, and the second one was a 1, so...
You're
natural,
good at history.
which... I know, I have a +5. So it would have been an 8 and then a 6.
I'm just leeching my
Arrows.
shitty rolls through the camera.
Bad roll beam.
No!
I'm gonna shoot it through the wall at you. Alright, so, you guys make your way back from your bathroom break.
We catch the
How
last
long
match.
were they gone?
A while.
Yeah, I spent a long time trying to find the right alleyway.
Yeah,
I've
probably
been following you for 15 minutes.
close to half an hour.
Part of it's probably over.
I was like, they had a few like things in the middle and stuff,
Intermissions.
and some like breaks. So I'll say you guys
The
get here.
commentators had to get their quips in.
Yeah, there we go.
You guys would have seen the Silver Dragonborn fought Alkagul and won. So the final match is between the Silver Dragonborn and the Cloaked Figure. And it is in progress as you guys arrive to your seats up in the box. And this has been a much better fight than some of the previous ones.
I don't even say anything. As soon as we get back, I walk straight over to continue or to start watching again.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm going to do, too. Do what I was doing before.
Nothing happened.
Yep, everything's fine.
So, did you two just get lost, or did you have some fun while you were gone?
Well, I got.
You see this? I just like pull out a little bit of cloth, and there's just like obviously the blood still on it, and I'm like, let's just say, a white crystalline fellow had a interesting excursion with a different fellow, and they did not like each other.
I will say, someone asked if you guys had a little fun, and you immediately were like, "Yeah, my cloth is stained white."
Yeah.
You really need to work on your lying. There are better excuses.
It's just bodily fluid.
Let's say.
Do you lick some crystal dragonborn blood? Make a wisdom save for me.
While he's making a wisdom save, he is telling the truth. He's just has a roundabout way of doing it.
Wisdom
He's just dumb as balls.
16.
Cool. Yeah, you're John.
Ew. There are better ways to be stupid and to lie. Anyways,
He's
any
telling
thoughts
the
on
truth.
who's gonna win this one?
You guys look down upon the fight. You see the cloaked figure has two swords. You know, standard. They look like standard like guard commission swords. Strangely
Not
enough.
the terribly fancy, but perfectly adequate.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just like dual wielding, swinging. Well, they are swinging incredibly hard and forcefully. It's not like they're just going full chaos. Like there's skill behind the swing as well. Whereas the silver dragonborn, you see their pole arm is flipping all around them as it swings to one side. You see the wings get in and like lock into it and swing it behind the back, and it's just like full body. It's just a torrent of this pole arm. But the cloaked figure is taking some hits, but it doesn't seem to be affecting them too much as they swing down. But the cloaked one is having trouble getting a hit in, despite their skill.
I do not know who will win, but I'm rooting for the silver dragonborn.
Same here. How close is the box next to us that had the silver dragon?
There's just like a wall between. You could easily walk over there if you want to.
No, I was just like, if it's open and I could just like lean over the rail and talk to them, I would be dragging them into the conversation.
You could, like, the front of the box is open, so
Right.
so there's just like a thin wall between. So if you lean forward, you could see into their box.
Kira's going to like lean forward in this corner and like peer over to see if the silver dragon is also amicable for a conversation.
What you see is a well-dressed like Goliath dude who's just kind of like smiling, looking down at the fight, like big guy, but very like finely tailored, dressed in like blues and silvers and stuff.
Good evening there.
Oh, yes.
How are you enjoying the fight?
It is wondrous. I love watching people engage in combat. All these small people, it's crazy. They can do stuff like fight each other. I mean, it's amazing. You've seen like all these small people? They go around and then they fight. I haven't seen it before. There's small people everywhere. You know, humans.
We are indeed quite small compared to you, yes.
Yes. Man, I wish.
Who do you think is going to win?
I don't care.
Fair enough!
I guess I would be inclined to vote for the silver dragonborn refuge, were they called. But, I mean, have at thee. Have no real stake in the game.
I too am hoping for Refi to win. They're doing a lovely job of avoiding hits so far.
Yes. It's truly intriguing how they use weapons, they use tools and such, rather than just relying on their own innate strength.
Have you never used a weapon before?
No, they don't make them for me. I mean, I've heard some use them in the Brass Clan. They say there's one with a dragon-sized great sword that is wielded. It sounds pretty cool. I might fly there to see. Very interesting.
That does sound phenomenally interesting.
Man. They continue watching.
Yeah.
Do you want to make an insight check?
Sure. $17.
17. Cool.
38.
Erik, could I make an investigation check? I just kind of want to see if that red dragon's still here.
You can just look up. They're still, watching from above.
All right, cool.
Just very stoically. Just like,
All right.
yeah, and you can kind of tell, like, even like the nights get pretty cold here, and you can just kind of like see like the shimmer above them of heat.
All right.
Yeah.
That feels like it would be a very comfy place to watch from, just like on top of the red dragon.
Maybe not on top of. That would fucking. That might be ouch.
I think nearby is probably the best seat in the house.
Riding a
Roast
red dragon
marshmallow.
would be comfortable.
Yeah, true. Better than riding a blue dragon. Fucking CBT riding. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. The fight continues. You see the polearm whips around and knocks one of the swords out of their hands, but they flick their wrist and the sword swings back in, as if by its own accord. The fight continues. The polearm user, you see, it's kind of almost going after the legs a lot. Like the swings come from everywhere, but they keep on connecting on the legs until the cloaked figure falls to one knee, and Refi just is looking like they're about to stop until the cloaked figure continues fighting, just like throwing shit. And Refi dances through and hits again at the side of the head, and kind of rocks them, and they begin to fall over. But before they fall completely unconscious, they catch themselves with one arm. Though everything kind of goes still, and they crack their necks, stand back up, call both the swords, grab them, and then just turn around and walk away. And Refi stands there, and the crowd erupts into applause. As you see, they kind of have their polearm in their hand, and as they kind of almost start to drop it, you see the wings just kind of like move and like catch it and hold it on their back.
Ah. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
they seem
fancy.
very dexterous with their wings. And like in the fight, they didn't actually fly. They're just on the ground using their wings as an extra set of limbs. And yeah, the grand tourney has been won by a outsider, but it's their right to come in. They get a big old cash prize.
Nice.
All the silverware.
Yeah.
Well, Tostyn, it's probably a good thing you only bet me over that one table and not all the tables that are now going to be trashed.
I am not a smart man by any means, but I'm definitely not a stupid one.
I think we will have to reevaluate your statement as we continue through.
Some drinks can alter perception, but stupider, no way.
All right.
I'll
So,
let you have it.
Very clearly, was very happy about winning the tournament. I'm wondering, are people going to talk to and greet him and congratulate him, or
Yeah, some
are
people are
they?
going down to talk, like some of the people who are allowed to like go backstage, basically.
Okay.
Which you would be allowed to if you would wish.
I would like to. I'm gonna.
All right. Guys, head down into the inner workings of the Colosseum. And yeah, you can get a meeting with Refi.
All right.
Um,
Are we assuming that happens right now?
yes.
For convenience sake? Yeah.
So
Okay.
Get there. You gotta wait a little bit to meet him because other people are talking.
Well, right. Yeah.
But that can kind of get.
Don't want to go in. I don't want to go and interrupt anyone. This may be taking place in my kingdom, but no reason for me to use social status as a tool.
Well, whether you intended or not, you were kind of moved at the top of the line to talk to this person.
Okay.
And yeah, you could talk.
Uh,
Hello there.
hello.
Good
it's
evening.
Did you enjoy the
wonderful
fight?
to meet you. It did. It was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations. I just wanted to ask, where did you learn to use your polearm like that?
Many places. I started way up north, about as north as you can get. But I've traveled across the land, many different continents. I mostly learned the fighting art, adapted to my own, of course, of the brass.
I was just having a lovely conversation with the Silver Dragon about apparently there's a brass dragon that has a longsword.
Yes, of the Nijmensir clan. I learned specifically the dragon's fighting art. They use their wing and tail and whatnot to engage in combat. Well, my wings may not be strong enough to wield a great sword or anything like that. They can certainly alter the path of a polearm.
Well, that is phenomenal.
Oh, I thank you. I give a deep bow.
I'd love to get to talk to you again sometime, but I'd like to not hold up the line of others wishing to
Of course.
congratulate you.
It's an honor to meet you.
And a pleasure to meet you too.
Give another bow. And you guys can go off.
Enjoy the rest of the festivities.
All right. So yeah, you guys head back out into the city. Any other events you want to, or any other like stands or anything you want to visit before the next event starts up?
Do they have
Well-
cotton candy?
I do believe we must stop by at least one stand here. Somebody.
Cotton
Or
candy,
someone
cotton
else
candy,
drink.
cotton candy.
What were you saying, Serandusk?
You do owe me a drink.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I was saying that someone owes somebody else a drink.
Oh yes.
That is very true.
Whether that payment is to be settled now or later is, I suppose, up to the betting parties, but
I would love a drink right now. Sounds delightful.
All right.
It's settled then.
So you guys go and get some, I assume, fine drinking.
Yes.
With a voucher, no less.
Indeed.
I would pay for this very hard drink with this flimsy piece of paper.
Do the meal vouchers work inside the Coliseum for alcoholic beverages?
I'm gonna say no. They probably didn't accept it. They will accept it for the cafeteria shit. But if you want to be like, hey, we're fancy, give us the good shit, then you would need to pay with your own money.
Damn.
What's the going rate on 4 relatively fancy beverages?
Depends on how much you want and how fancy you want it.
Just fancy enough. Don't want to have one drink and end the night. And I think just one drink was the payout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember.
Loser was to buy the winner a drink of their choice. Within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
Serandusk's rich. You could pretty much pick whatever you want.
Yeah, a bottle of fine wine is like 10 gold pieces for like normal fine wine, but if you want some fine ass wine, it'll be more.
Well, I'm probably going to enjoy some overly flamboyant cocktail.
All right.
They definitely made some sort of specialty cocktail that like looks metallic, like you're drinking liquid metal.
Yeah, definitely. They got some stuff like that.
Platinum.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely try that.
All right. So anyone who's buying drinks, so one of those would probably be for just one, like 2 gold pieces.
Okay. Radley, does anything on the menu catch your eye?
No, I'm not a big drinker.
Very well.
I
Then,
think
well,
I'll sit this one out.
if you ever change your mind, just let me know.
Okay, I will.
All right.
So, I'm gonna throw Tostyn 2 gold pieces. No, 4 gold pieces. And then I'm gonna get myself a cocktail for 2.
All right. Better mark that money down.
I'm gonna remove 6 from my inventory.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, you guys can get some nice, fancy platinum drinks.
What do you think it's called? Platinum Dragon Piss?
Video has been age restricted on YouTube.
Had it not already. When we were talking about Crystal Dragon cum, fucking minutes ago.
What the hell is this?
I'm gonna ask the bartender. Do you have any ale?
Yes, we do.
I'll take anything. Surprise me. I'll just pass him the 4 gold pieces. Because I bought the other drink.
Gets a keg and a cocktail.
Yeah.
A keg and a cocktail.
The ale is like 2 silver at most.
Rah!
So do you want a bunch of? They're gonna.
Yes.
So yeah, how many drinks do you want?
Enough.
Very well.
When the biggest guy in a group says he needs enough drinks.
So they're just gonna fill your drink up and just essentially, if you leave without having, like, they're just taking all the gold, giving you the nice cocktail to give to Kier, and then you just have a cup that they're gonna keep on refilling, and eventually you'll leave and they'll still probably have cash left over, which they're gonna take as a tip.
Fair enough.
So yeah, so Tostyn, are you drinking a lot?
Probably. I'm not like pounding drinks, but I'm definitely not taking it slow. It's good ale.
Just make a classy Constitution save. For the
The
bonus.
classy Constitution
it's a
save.
classy Constitution save.
Classic
14.
constitutions.
Meanwhile, I'm enjoying my cocktail, trying to analyze all the flavors in it, figure out, what exactly went into making it.
All right.
Yeast and sugar water.
So Tostyn, you're doing all right. Make a intelligence check if you want to be a sommelier. You don't have proficiency with brewer's tools or anything like that, so it's just a straight intelligence check.
Okay. 19.
19. Yeah, you're figuring out what flavors. You figured that the color is actually just from like magic, probably.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of like a nice it has like a sharp flavor to it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I know nothing about alcohol, so
That's totally fine.
yeah.
It tastes warm.
Like distinctly
Hint of elderflower.
yeah, it distinctly does not have earthy tones, so get fucked. Because people always say it's got earthy tones, but this one doesn't. No earthy tones.
All right.
in the
Essence
flavor.
of chocolate and pesticides.
It's cream of asbestos.
Justice.
I got rained on by asbestos in my room
Oh,
a few weeks ago.
Jesus Christ.
Military barracks. Let's go.
All right. So yeah, you guys have a nice old time. Do some drinking. Yeah, Tostyn, you're fine. You're a big guy. You can take it. As you guys are drinking, you see that Goliath that you were talking to in the room next to you approaches. Goes, aha! There you are again. Yes, drinks.
Hello.
You see, they just like seemingly just kind of like out of nowhere produce just like a bunch of money and is like, give me drinks. And they're just like, okay. And they go, haha. This is crazy. Wow.
Alcohol.
They're not even pouring into a cup. They're just cutting the top off of each keg at this point and handing it to him as a glass.
Yeah. Well, no, they're not that big. Goliath, it's like a few inches taller than you, fucking Serandusk.
Okay. Never mind.
They're
Just a
standing like
really big cup.
yeah, and yeah, you see they're drinking a lot.
Understandable.
Is this your first time at an Epoch Festival?
Yes, indeed. I wasn't told enough last time, you see. Well, those would not let me leave, but now I'm free to go. You know, I've settled my own home.
Well, we are so glad to have you here.
Oh,
By the way, I never actually asked for your name, and I do apologize for the lapse of propriety.
Yes, I'm Agath. And they'll put out their hand to shake.
And I take it and I shake it. Thank you so much. I'm
Sure.
Xeirvaerauthingeir.
Pleasure to meet you. I will remember it. Now,
Thank you.
and when you shook their hand, you did feel like strength there, certainly.
Yep.
And they were like cold to the touch.
So, Egoth, do you have any other plans for the festival?
Not really. I don't know what's going on. I'm just walking around meeting people.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Among my favorites.
Please do meet the rest of my companions. I don't feel like introducing you folks. You can introduce yourselves.
Long, complicated name moment. I only talk to Tostyn.
Well, I also, because I was like, me, the players, like, I don't actually know who is still around me and who's wandered off at this point.
Oh. I mean, it sounds like most of you guys are still here.
Yeah.
Still hanging out, enjoying my drink very slowly.
Yeah. So yeah, they begin to address the rest of you.
I am Serandusk, Simtricilium.
Ah, yes. Oh, from the clan that is here. Yes. Interesting. What are
Very
you
nice
then,
to meet
like
you.
a prince or something?
That I am.
Cool. Now then. You there, who are you? And they just point out like Rally.
Oh, well, if you ever need a ship built, I can do that for you.
Cool, I don't need that. I can fly. You're green. Who are you? They just look at Tostyn.
I am
Holds up a finger while finishing his drink.
I am Tostyn. I am the slightly intoxicated bodyguard of Serandusk.
I see. You wear armor like scales. They shine with silver light. Interesting. And they just kind of like shake you a little bit. What is this you're drinking?
Sounds like a bad maraca.
What is this you're drinking? I have no idea, but whatever it is, it's very good.
Very well. Well then, I should probably meet other people, or should I? Do you know if anything else is happening this night that is interesting?
I just kind of rattle off the other two main attractions.
Fireworks and church. Very well, I will see you later. And they just kind of like, they just kind of crouch down, and as they jump into the air, and just snow, just a silver dragon appears, and they just fly off towards the south.
Well, that is one way to make an exit. Just left.
Quite inconspicuous, if you ask me.
Windy.
Yeah. Yeah. She was cold.
Well, we still have the sermon and the fireworks left. Are we just going to drink till it's time to sit in a stuffy church?
Yes.
Fair enough.
I do not see why not.
Things
Might make dealing with my family slightly more bearable.
Do you want to
Thinks
drink?
about church, drinks.
I just kind of like tip my glass a little bit further and just.
So yeah, Serandusk, are you drinking more then?
Yeah, I'll probably have another drink.
Make a con save.
All right. I'm probably gonna have like a couple ales of
Wow.
same as Tostyn.
Probably
I don't know why I'm shaking. I grabbed my dice tower. It's just habitual. Terrible. I have rolled a 4.
Yeah, you're a little
I'm having a good time. I'm just like actively. Like, I probably like put my arm on Tostyn. I'm using him like kind of as a brace for myself.
Yeah, Tostyn, remember, you can cure this if you want to.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
It would make it harder to deal with his family.
All right.
Does anyone have a deck of cards?
Oh, no.
I wonder. Hold on.
I don't think you specifically have it on you.
I do not.
Though if you think that you would like want it at some point, you could probably see that Tostyn has it in his bag of holding.
Nah, I'm choosing to ignore reality, at least a little bit right now. I don't feel like thinking about that.
Okay.
I'm just kind of here enjoying myself.
All right. Well, you guys can, if you go out to town for like but a moment, you can just acquire a deck of cards.
Yeah. Kier probably has a deck of
Are there any
cards.
guards nearby?
Yeah. It's pretty easy to find cards.
How are they close enough for me to just telepathically?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna ask one. Like, terribly sorry to bother you, but Would you be willing to go acquire a deck of cards for us?
Yes, I can do this. The guard walks off and returns later with a deck of cards. Xeirvaerauthingeir.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm going
Thank you
to
very
assume that we've commandeered some sort of table
Yeah.
at which to play.
Very easily that can be done.
So, are you going to deal or shall I?
I insist, you do.
Oh, well, thank you. Kier takes the deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Kier shuffles the deck of cards.
Yes.
While looking at them.
Kier then deals out a game of Go Fish.
All right.
Do you attempt to cheat?
Not this round.
Okay.
Rally, do you have a 2?
No, I don't. Go fish. Sorry, do you got a
No.
let's say 7.
I just drew a 7.
Yeah, Rally, are you using your powers of perception in this moment?
No.
Okay, so you're just kind of closing that out as much as possible.
Yeah.
Cool.
You have a 4.
I do. Yeah.
You guys playing 2-man Go Fish?
Yep. I'm enjoying the spectacle. I probably couldn't play to save my life.
I'm not going to lie, Kier probably dealt both of them in,
Just
and
isn't
as they
interacting with
continue
them.
to forget to play, I just slowly start shoving their cards into the pile in the middle.
All right. So yeah, you guys have a fine game of Go Fish. Yeah, just both you just roll a d20 for this very normal game of Go Fish.
But
4.
Ooh.
Yikes.
9.
So Kier
The
wins
Go
the
Fish
first game,
rules.
but both of you guys aren't playing well.
It's a really, like, an alarmingly long time for Go Fish.
Yeah, for
Drunken
2-man
fish.
Go Fish.
It's drunken 2-man Go Fish. And it's probably Rally trying not to be super perceptive. And Kier trying really hard to remember what the actual rules are so she doesn't cheat this time.
Nice. Then for the second game, y'all just going for it?
Second game? Oh, I'm cheating.
Alright.
Big time.
Kier has given up.
Make a
anything, she's
sleight of
cheating.
hand check.
Can I argue for deception instead?
How are you deceived? Yeah, I'm looking at your sleight of hand, you little fiend. You can bluff
because it's
very
not-
well.
Yeah, she's not necessarily like folding corners of cards or sneaking cards into her sleeves or under the table or anything. She's just like paying attention to what cards are most likely in the pile and in her hand and bluffing what she does and doesn't have.
So you're just trying to play better.
I'm yeah. Counting
Okay.
cards in Go Fish.
Make a intelligence check. Or a wisdom check. You can do a wisdom check for counting cards too, I'll say.
Okay. Okay. That is a 21.
Very nice. So yeah, Rally, you don't see them swapping any cards or anything like that. Are you using your powers of perception in this moment?
Yeah, I'll try.
Cool. So yeah, just make a perception check with advantage, of course.
And 6, so that is 17.
How bad were you rolling? I feel like you have good perception. I guess that wasn't too bad of a roll. So yeah, you're keeping good track of the cards and whatnot. Though Keir has not been really like cheating, so you're not super like taking notice of them pulling cards or anything like that. And the lighting in here is kind of dim, though I'm trying to think if how hard you can cheat.
How hard you can cheat in Go Fish. A game that is pretty much just chance.
And counting cards.
Yeah.
You just start like magically like rearranging the deck slowly when you're merging our decks into it.
I don't think I would have dealt you guys in the second time.
Probably not, but it was worth a shot, I guess. And it makes it easier to...
Looks like I'm doing research.
Oh no.
actually looking up how to cheat at Go Fish.
No, this isn't about Go Fish. This is about
Sending a message.
no, my man's got good eyesight. Beyond eyesight. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so you can't like cheat super hard since it's just cards. So yeah, in this match, unless you want to like actually try and like cheat, you will lose to Keir.
No, I'm not gonna cheat.
All right.
Howard.
Any other type of games you want to play or engage in? You know, like they got like the cup games thing, and they got like.
All right, blackjack.
All right.
All right. Well, who's going to play dealer then?
Austin, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Enough of this fish nonsense.
I mean, if you guys wouldn't mind, I would like to be house.
All right.
Okay.
Keir shuffles the deck into like an actual deck again instead of like the chaotic pile that Go Fish always ends up, and hands it over. Keir would like to try to steal one card.
Make a sleight of hand check.
That is a 14.
Rally, you see this with your passive perception.
Hey, can I have that? Can I have that card?
What card?
The card. It kind of slid down your sleeve a little bit.
Keir makes a show of checking her sleeves, and she's gonna try to
Your
be like,
sleeves are literally transparent. It's visible.
What card?
she dropped it in her lap, and she's gonna be like, I don't have a card up my sleeve.
It's it fell down.
Here, look, and I'm just gonna pick it up, give it to Raleigh. I found it.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Well, now I know who not to have me help on a heist. You know, fun.
All right.
I'll deal everyone out.
Okay. Do you do anything funky with your dealing?
No, pretty straightforward.
You on purpose deal her only 2s.
So yeah, do you guys all want to roll?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Here, I'll
Just straight
say
up.
for this match, you can either do insight, deception, or an intelligence check.
Ooh, okay, I know which one I'm picking.
Right.
Insight, deception, or intelligence?
Yeah.
All right.
Or if you're proficient with cards, let me know.
I don't think I am.
No, you're proficient with fucking chess because you're a nerd.
Where are my proficiencies?
Ooh.
Oh, wait, down there. I am proficient in chess.
Wow.
Nerd.
Well, I rolled an 8 on intelligence, so...
Okay. Tostyn?
19.
Ooh. Kier?
16.
Hey! Tostyn? Well, actually, no, because you're not actually
Well, what did
drunk.
House get?
Yeah.
I got a 1.
How does
So
it
that's
work?
I feel like the house should roll with advantage.
I have not played much fucking blackjack, so I'm like having difficulty
House-
remembering what the fucking house even does. Because I thought they just
House
dealt
wins
the
on
cards.
ties. House wins on ties.
I
They play and they win on ties, so they should have advantage.
That's fine.
Alright, whatever.
So yeah, no one
We could
fucking
figure
ties,
out-
that's for sure.
We could figure out rollies for blackjack later.
Yeah.
I have a
I'm
feeling
down.
that-
Just for purpose of the campaign, I'm down.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Just boot up Tabletop Simulator, actually play blackjack.
Plays blackjack, continues D&D campaign.
So yeah, Tostyn, you win the most. What were you rolling?
Insight.
Yeah, so you were calling fucking everyone's bluffs.
Fuck you.
Even Kier's, which is a feat.
Get girl bossed.
Wow, you just got girl bossed by Tostyn.
I can't believe Tostyn just girl bossed me. Time to gaslight him.
Oh
So yeah, were you guys putting any money on this?
I don't think we were putting actual money.
Okay, cool.
They didn't know it, but there was an acorn on the table that I counted as the pot.
Cool, you have that now, I guess.
It had an acorn to his inventory.
I will win that acorn.
Doesn't notice it until he picks it up and sets it by him, and then, then I will win that acorn.
Alright, do you guys play again at all, or any other shenanigans with cards?
I would love to.
Okay.
Another.
I'm not good at this deal stuff. How about Tostyn, you take it over.
Alright,
Oh no.
yeah. So is dealer just depending on luck then?
Everyone's pretty much depending on luck, aside from if you're really aggressively counting cards and really good at it in blackjack.
I don't know.
It is less luck, more card counting and BS if you're playing like Texas Hold'em or something.
Yeah. So do we
If
want to
you're
have
playing,
like you guys
More legit real poker.
like the players can roll deception, insight, or intelligence for counting cards, and then the dealer just does straight roll with advantage? Because can the dealer, like, does counting cards for the dealer do anything?
It does, especially like in a small table, but I think just advantage on a straight roll probably.
Okay, cool. So you guys roll whatever things you want to roll,
Yeah.
and let me know if you want to cheat.
I got a nat 20.
Fuck, I got an 18!
And were you counting cards then? I assume?
Dude, what do you add to the 20?
5, I think.
Intelligence, which is +5.
Yeah. Rally's
Ah.
smart.
Because I got a 22.
Oh, get fucking boned. Serandusk, what'd you get?
I rolled a 7.
Serandusk,
Intoxicated Serandusk cannot play poker.
yeah, Serandusk does not drink very often, so this is
I do not.
this is rough for Serandusk.
It is.
I
But,
thought we were playing blackjack, not poker.
Whatever.
I don't know the difference, man.
He's
Maybe
playing
that's
poker. We're playing blackjack.
Play poker.
Straight flush. It's like, what?
Everyone turns over their cards. I've got a 20. Got 19. Me, I've got a royal flush, fuckers.
Full house, thank you. Sheesh.
I have two of a kinds. So it's like not even like a good poker hand either. It's just like
Yeah.
you got like 2 2s and 2 3s. It's like, haha. So yeah, so Rally, you win big time because you just memorized all the cards. Tostyn, you do all right. No one can get a bead on Xeirvaerauthingeir, but it doesn't matter enough. You still get some payout if there
But
was
it's not
money.
enough to win the acorn.
Yeah,
Not
Rally,
enough
you
to
got the
win.
acorn now.
Fuck! That for
Rally
my
has the
notes.
acorn.
Alrighty.
Well,
We should probably get some snacks and start heading over to the church soon.
I agree. We should play again sometime.
Yes.
She's right.
Rally at an acorn to inventory for later in game purposes.
I literally put in my notes, acorn I won from blackjack. Tack mark.
that-
Rally
and that-
has it now.
Rally has it now. That works.
Yeah, so as you guys are walking towards the church for the like noble sermon, I see taking up, well, like just kind of passing you guys and taking up like 80% of the space in the thoroughfare. You see the red dragon, large creature, maybe like triple the size of that wormling that you found. This thing is massive. Here, you notice that it has runes carved into its scales.
Ooh. What do they say? What do they say?
It's not language, it's spellcraft.
Well, yes.
You can make wisdom check with proficiency.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Damn!
You look at
Alright.
this figure and you're like, oh, this individual knows spellcraft of kind of a more ancient variety. You see, these are spells that they have that they can cast. They've kind of used themselves as a spell book almost. You pick up most of them are teleportation and divination spells. Which, when you kind of start to think through the ramifications of a large red dragon who can scry on you and then teleport, kind of rhymes. Like, oh shit. Does anyone want to make a history check?
Or I'll make one.
Not me, lol.
Wow.
I will also make a history
Yeah.
check.
People who aren't from here make it with disadvantage.
22.
Um,
I would count as not from here.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's so unfortunate.
Like a natural one.
No, that is a nat 20 and a 5.
Destroyed.
So that's a total for a 9 on that history check.
All right. Yeah, you're not sure who this is, but Serandusk. You remember this as Nimti. Kind of known often as the Wandering Emperor.
Okay.
They're like an adult red dragon that kind of presides over the whole mountain range.
Okay.
You would know that they specifically don't have a lair, and instead they're known for protecting other dragons, and they just sleep in other people's lairs.
Ah.
So they're kind of always on the move.
All right.
They're very revered among other dragons. Not all fall under their protection because they don't want to, but
Sure.
yeah. O'Malley.
I'm not going to get in his way.
Yeah. Yeah, and what would you roll on your history? You rolled pretty high, right? Like 22 or something?
22.
Yeah. You would recognize, like, the name loosely translated basically means, like, one without a layer.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, you
All
guys
right.
make your way to the noble sermon. People pack in and see lots of fancy individuals.
Here has a teeny tiny book that she pulls out of her pocket that she starts just like reading through during the sermon because she's bored.
Rally, you noticed this.
Rally, you noticed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sermon begins. It's being held by a topaz dragonborn, which are known for being very devout to Palamir, specifically like from their specific clan. And yeah, they speak and tell tale of Palamir. They're speaking just in Draconic mostly, and even some like old Draconic as they're reading some passages and whatnot. And yeah. If there's anything you guys want to do during this, feel free, but no pressure.
No.
Cool.
Just reading.
Yeah. So yeah, so then you guys, sermon ends and you guys can leave. Find yourself out on the streets again as the fireworks begin.
Ooh, pretty.
I imagine I know somewhere that is, plenty good to watch the fireworks from.
Yeah, you can take yourself up to probably the lake, honestly. Like the best place to watch, because it's kind of up above. And so yeah, you guys go up and find a nice place to watch the fireworks.
Splendid.
Yeah, roll perception to see how well you watch fireworks.
All right.
No.
Nat 20.
Really?
I'm the best firework watcher.
I have 11.
I would do it with advantage, right?
Yep.
Serandusk can see the fucking fireworks of this year and last year in eons past.
Yeah.
I got 11.
11.
Yeah.
Tostyn, what'd you get?
18.
18. Nice. So yeah,
Tostyn and I are fantastic at watching fireworks.
Fuck yeah.
Kier drags Rally into a conversation on when the fireworks go up, they like reflect on the water. So talking about like light scattering or something. I don't know. And just like
photons and gammas.
Rally is a well-educated individual.
Yeah. And I do research all day. That is my thing that I do.
The water acts as a moderator, so it slows down all the photons, right? That's why it scatters it, because they all bounce around.
That was so
Serandusk,
nerdy, dude.
in the fireworks, there's something going on.
Okay.
Because, it's just lots of flashes of lights and platinum colors and, very shiny color. But then, of course, the classic, like, reds and blues and whatnot.
Yeah.
You see a pure white flash.
Okay.
That very much like a flash. And, like, kind of like just like a set direction, So it's like, it'd be like if the firework flew up and just, like, exploded in a direction.
Okay.
Then you see another flash, but it's kind of more lingering. Like the first one was just like a. This one was more. Kind of like, you can see like the light almost linger a little bit.
Okay.
But the second one was more of like a red orange.
Okay.
Make make an Arcana or a Nature check.
I'll make an Arcana.
Cool.
11.
11. Yeah,
Seems
you
to be
haven't seen fireworks like this before. It seems like a new thing.
Okay.
You see a few more of these flashes. And you can almost see like kind of like almost like fireflies in the distance. That kind of like trailing kind of look to it.
Okay.
And but you can only really see one of them. Like you just see like another one that kind of flashes occasionally. The one that you can see more clearly though, kind of dims and you can just see it kind of streak downward, like among the other fireworks and the lights. Like you just kind of like caught a weird thing.
Okay.
And that, you just see it streak down.
Is there still anything off in the distance that I can see that I could point out to Rally? Or anyone else for that matter? Or have they pretty much...
If you want to call something
happen and
while
go
it was
away?
happening, you could try.
I'm probably not fast enough to it.
Okay, well, it goes on for like a little less than a minute, so you have a little.
Oh,
bit of
okay.
time, but-
So yeah, I'll like kind of step over to Rally and like point up at what I'm seeing. Be like, you see that up there?
Riley, you're having trouble because like it's kind of one of those situations where like yes, my eyes are really good at picking up light. That also means that shit's fucking bright. You're kind of having trouble seeing through all the fireworks. But
Okay.
go ahead and just make me one roll of a perception check just to see if you manage to catch something.
That's a 9 plus 5. That's a 14.
14. Let's see. You maybe catch when there's just kind of like that streak going down because it's like a firework that lasts extra long for some reason, and it looks like it actually goes like, into the valley.
Okay.
Also, Tostyn, just make me an intelligence save real quick. Just for the lulz,
Just the lulz.
Yeah.
No.
Oh shit. No bueno. 16.
16.
Nice.
It's kind of looking at the light this much is kind of giving you a bit of a headache, but you're all right. All right.
Pretty.
The fireworks show eventually dies down. The sermon for the commoners is being held now, but that's nothing that you want to go to.
Right.
Certainly not.
Probably didn't
Dear
want to go to the
God.
first one, but
Yeah,
obligations.
basically. All right, you guys, did you guys head back into town for a bit?
Yeah, I'd like to.
So, yeah, it's
Probably.
past being late in the night, or it's still dark, but it's technically morning at this point. The sun has not yet risen. And besides, there's a lot of mountains blocking it. And yeah, you guys have a bit more time spend the festivities and such. See, a beautiful Amethyst dragonborn begins to approach, specifically towards Serandusk.
Do I see them?
Yeah, you would see that they make their presence definitely known. You say,
Do I know who it is?
make a history check.
History. Oh shit. Okay, so it's not one of my family members.
Yes.
Non-nat 20.
You would recognize them as Xeirvaerauthingeir.
Okay.
Specifically, you haven't met them before, but you recognize the crest on like one of their lapels, and you just kind of do some like mental arithmetic of like, okay, they're not old enough to be the mom, so they're like this person.
Okay.
And they're from a noble house that is not technically part of the Simtracilium kingdom.
Okay.
They're from across the western mountain range that the kingdom is kind of built upon. In the forests on that side. You know that recently, though, or relatively recent history, truce was made when there was some military activity towards the south that we were engaging in. Because your kingdom is mostly just inside of the bounds of the mountain range.
Right.
So, you know, to make sure that they didn't just like loop around and cut you off, you had them kind of go down south a bit as well to take some ground.
Okay. So they are approaching me.
Yes, they're approaching you. Yeah, very beautiful and figure that approaches. Honestly, you guys would notice that like this is now catching a lot of eyes because of Lithier, Xeirvaerauthingeir, and Serandusk Simtracilium are probably just like looking around. You're like, oh, these are probably the two hottest people we've seen like all day, just talking to each other. This ought to be good to look at specifically.
Nice.
So a lot of eyes are being caught. She goes, "Why, hello there. You are Serandusk, isn't that so?"
Yes, I am.
Yeah, pleasure to make your acquaintance. And they like take your hand, like kiss it.
All right.
You are drunk still.
Fucking, I'm still.
Got a buzz going.
Can I make a charisma save to see whether or not, to see how drunk I seem?
Make a deception check.
Deception. Okay, well, works for me. 22.
That's very good. Let me pull up this motherfucker's stat block. It's so dark in my room, I can't see shit. Yeah, they do not notice.
All right.
Nice.
Mannerisms of royalty.
Yeah, you're very well able to just put on your like, oh yes, I'm noble person front. You're
Right, yeah.
princely, kind of outward speaking.
Absolutely. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well.
Yes. I am Lithier of the Xeirvaerauthingeir house. It is good to meet you for the first time. Our families have done well together very much.
That they have.
This celebration especially, it is good to be able to go to attend. You would know that these families have... The Xeirvaerauthingeir house has not really been a part of the kingdom and kind of been at odds for a while before this.
Okay.
So they probably wouldn't have been coming into the kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
Not invited to the noble dinner, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Yes. very beautiful all around. Though I think I behold its greatest treasure. Wow, Kira, wow. It would be good to keep in contact with you going forward, as our houses are now in contact. You treat us for the time, it seems.
I very much agree. What do I... Trying to come up with words, fuck. I'm forgetting mannerisms and shit.
He's drunk. Oh no.
No, this is just my
Yeah, I
brain
know.
being fried.
Yeah.
Well, do
Like,
we have any? Do we have
Go
any
ahead.
plans for brunch or something tomorrow? She could come and join us.
I would love that.
It's a wonderful idea. Thank you for bringing that to
We
the
can all
table.
have a little bit more sleep under our belts before we try to talk about things.
Of course. No, I must meet up with my brother, Soros. I
Very
hope
well.
to see you again. And she specifically looks
I-
at Serandusk and then walks off.
Before she walks off, can I bow slightly and say,
Yeah.
like, just very slight bow, but say, I look forward to seeing you again, too.
Very good. Also, Serandusk, real quick,
Yes.
just make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save, alright.
Yeah.
Dumbass save I.
21!
Nice.
Save that.
Cool.
Hopefully.
Um,
Oh, let's hope that the 21 was past that check.
Uh-oh.
You never know.
tempted to impose disadvantage because you're drunk. That's fine.
I already pretended I wasn't, very successfully.
Indeed. Well, it doesn't make you not drunk, but
The minor details.
but
Pish posh.
I'd say that is a
Bish
good place
bash.
to end our first session.